A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the 130th session of CENTA's Webinar Series for Teachers. I hope all of you are keeping safe and staying healthy. CENTA and Canva are organizing a design challenge for educators from February 11 to 25th, where teachers from all across the country will be putting in their design skills to test. We have lined up two webinars to help you warm up. The second one of the two webinars will focus on how teachers can integrate the concept of design in education and make their content more engaging, interesting. It will be facilitated by Ms. Annapoorni Chandrashekhar, an education community consultant at Canva. Annapoorni is the education community manager for Canva in India. She works with schools, non-profits, and partners to transition pilots to scale and take Canva's learning initiatives to diverse teachers and students. Prior to Canva, Annapoorni led the digital vertical of India's largest non-profit, Pratham, and bootstrapped an edtech startup incubated at IIM Bangalore. Having been in the edtech space for 8 years, Annapurni is excited about new technologies, products, and media to make learning more accessible, creative, and fun for learners. An alumni of the Young India Fellowship at Ashoka University, and she is an alumni of the Young India Fellowship at Ashoka University and holds a bachelor's degree in automobile engineering. Before we begin the session, I would like to inform all participants that they will receive a participation certificate for this webinar. So please do fill in the feedback form that will be shared with you at 5:45 p.m. Over to you, Annapurni.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm very excited to be a part of this session and take this design challenge forward. I know that a lot of you, might have already shared your designs with us, and we are going through them. And I'm very excited to see that many of them will be coming in very soon. So my name is Annapoorni, which means goddess of food. So I hope that all of you have had your snacks for today and are ready to learn something new about design and design in education. So very excited to be here. Before I quickly jump into the session, let me talk a little bit about Canva and Canva in education. I know that many of you probably already know about Canva and have used it in the past. If you have used it in the past, please do post on the chat and tell me how you've used it in the past. And I would request Simran to tell me how you have. Quickly going into what Canva does. For people who don't know about Canva, Canva is a design tool. We have been around for about 9 years now, and our mission is to empower anyone, anywhere to be able to design in any language and on any device. And that is really our motive. Design was something that only a few people could do in certain places. You needed really specialized training, real professional development courses to do it. But Canva has really strived to make it as simple as possible for anyone, anywhere to be able to design on their phone, on their laptop, in any language they want. And in the last year, we have tried to bring this creativity and this Canva superpower of simplicity to the classroom and to the teachers and students in the classroom. So I represent Canva's education team in India, and we are very happy that we are launching a new design challenge. It's actually ongoing right now till the 25th. So you have exactly 4 days to submit a design on Canva for education, and the theme is pretty simple. It is creativity in the classroom. I know that all the teachers and all the students have done a lot of creativity in the last 2 years, especially with things going virtual, doing things on WhatsApp, on Zoom, on Google Classroom. We've done a lot of creativity to make learning happen and make learning fun for our students. And keeping that perspective in mind, we want to recognize and celebrate this creativity. And we want all the teachers to send us what they have created around creativity in the classroom on Canva. Send us your link, and you can see that you have very exciting prizes that we have, which is completely open for anyone to be able to register. Canva is free. Canva Basic is free, and Canva for Education, which is something I'm going to talk about, is completely free for every teacher and every student across the world, and especially in India. So, as long as you are a K-12 teacher and a student, you can use Canva for Education. Canva for Education has more than 60,000 templates of workbooks, of assignments, of presentations, of PPTs that you can use and your students can use to make learning more engaging. Of course, we know that teachers love to create their own content. I want to create my own photosynthesis presentation. I want to make my own fractions video. So we want to give you templates that you can use, but you can also go as creative as you want in making it your own, and that's what we really want teachers and students to be able to do. It's 100% free, so you can go simply to this website, canva.com/edu sign up. It's a simple website. You can sign up there. You can give your B.Ed or any M.Ed certificate that you have, or you can give your professional certificate where you're working. If you have an ID card, you can submit that. And within 24 hours, you would get Canva's premium account completely free. Please create a basic account and then go sign up and do it, because Canva used to have two versions. One is Canva Basic, which was free to all, and Canva Pro, which was for people who were able to pay. Now we have made Canva for Education completely free for teachers and students, and that's what we want to give to our teachers. Moving forward, if you're a school and if you have teachers and students, you don't just want the account for yourself as an individual, but you want all your teachers and all your students to be able to get access. You can fill a Google form that I have put. You can share that and you can use that and get Canva for Education for all your school and teachers. They can all get it, and in one go, we can have all your students up and free and running on Canva for Education. Additionally, if you have any doubts on any of this setup, we will come back to this at the end of the session as well. Or you can write to me at this email ID and I would respond to you within 24 to 48 hours. So great. This is our Canva version. We have beautiful and engaging designs, which we always had, but now we have it specifically for you teachers and for your students, and which is something that we're very excited to take. We have specifically any topic that you want, you can type it on Canva and you should be able to find at least 50 templates that you can customize and change in your language and even on a basic mobile phone. So it'll save you time. Typically, any design on Canva takes about 20 to 30 minutes. And that's why I would encourage all of you to definitely participate in the design challenge. I know I'm sitting on a Monday and, the week has just started, but take 20 minutes for yourself and try and design something that's powerful, that's creative, and that reflects creativity in the classroom. And you never know, you might be one of the people who win the design challenge. So all the data and all the versions of Canva are COPA and FERPA protected. So all the data that we have is keeping child protection policy of students in mind and data privacy in mind. With that, I will jump in quickly into my session. I have a quick question for everyone. What have you used design in your classroom for before this? Please type on chat, and I would request Simran or Prachi to chime in the same to me.
Hi, Annapoorni. There's usually a 30-second lag between the answers, so we'll just wait. So, Beena ma'am wants to know how many designs can we send in the challenge? I think one teacher can only send one.
Yes, Beena ma'am, one teacher can only send one design. But we hope that not only you, but a lot of other teachers you can encourage and who are your colleagues to send in their designs.
So the responses have come in, and a few of them says certificate, teaching, YouTube thumbnail, worksheets, online class videos, PPTs, assembly posters, magazines, certificates again, Google Sheets, Master. I'm not sure what that is. Class album, uh, comic strip for sustainable goals,
Hmm.
certificates, birthday cards. banner, brochures, posters, worksheet, bulletin boards, PowerPoint presentations, cards, invites. I think
Wow,
that puzzles.
that's amazing. That's amazing. I think you all know more. I mean, and you've done so much more in the last year. So I'm hoping that this session would be as exciting because you've already done half the things that I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to try and make it engaging so that it's fun for you, and you whatever you have made in the past, let's try and make it. Let's spice it up and spruce it up a little bit more for our students. So with that, this session is for teachers. We are very excited to be here and take this session for you. I will keep, switching so that I want this session to be as practical as possible. So I'll show you things as I'm talking about them so that it's not just me giving a monologue. Great. So, in the last few months that I've joined Canva, I have been trying to talk to teachers and educators from across the globe to understand what really makes this learning environment that we keep talking about. And after talking to teachers in India, in low-income private schools, in public schools, in international schools, I have come to realize that there are four things that basically make a very powerful learning environment. One is emotion, one is accessibility, second is third is belonging, and fourth is pride. And we are trying to create this through design in education today. So why are we bringing in design? Because design generates emotions, design enables accessibility, design creates a sense of belonging, and design can create pride, because when you design something, it's yours and you can showcase it, you can show it off, and that's the pride that we're talking about. So with that, why am I taking this session? Because we feel like we talk about this idea of design in education as this ideal concept, but today we want to use some ready-to-go ideas that will make your classroom and your environment a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more inclusive, and a little bit more connected. And that's where we are. So now, quickly, if you can type in chat, uh, where in the world are you? As in India, where are you? Which state are you? And which grade do you teach? Like which class or subject do you teach? If you can type in that, that would be great. And I can see whatever that comes in the chat. Yes, Prachi, you can post the Typeform link whenever possible. The Typeform will typically take 5 minutes to fill. So as long as you have designed something on Canva, you can submit it on your design challenge. Okay. Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Punjab, English, information technology, Bangalore, high school, Nigeria, Varanasi, Telangana. Okay, that's great. Kindergarten. Oh, then it's a great variety of teachers that we have here, which makes me very excited. So, the idea of a classroom, according to us, has changed significantly. According to all of us, this is how a classroom looked like. We had tables, we had chairs, we had children sitting there, and we had a classroom. And today, maybe our classroom has shifted to a tablet, a mobile phone, a WhatsApp group. So, how has your classroom shifted? It has become physical and virtual. It has become hybrid. It has become a mix of everything. But it has changed forever. We will never be able to imagine it the old school way. We are going back to school, but there is a lot happening in the digital space as well. So that's my next question to you. Think of any easy activity that helps bring the two worlds together, that has helped bring the two worlds together. And you can tell me that. Any activity that has helped bring the two worlds together. Think of a simple activity that can be done in a digital and in a physical way. Or if it connects the digital and physical, drama, drawing, okay? Gamification, Mentimeter, okay? Hands-on activity, hybrid activity, storytelling. Okay, great. Discussion, yoga. Okay, that's very interesting. One of the activities that for me bring the two worlds together, and this is a clue. maybe you'll be able to figure out what I'm talking about. Something that is digital but also physical, and you can bring it together. This checkered thing is a clue. Some black and white boxes are a clue. Worksheets, role play, storytelling. Okay. How many of you have ever used a QR code before? Have you used a QR code before? Yes. No, you haven't used it. Okay, so a QR code is a very simple way of creating an activity and using it on your QR code and giving it to your students to make it accessible. So, for example, this is also something that I had as an assignment. But if you want, you can quickly, suppose I want to use the stream that's going on right now and I want to create a QR code of it. All I have to do is go to Canva, go to the More tab. I have the QR code option here. You can see my screen. I pick the QR code. I go to the current webinar that we're on. I pull the URL, enter the URL here, and it will generate a code. And now, if you scan this code on your phone, you will be able to go back to the same webinar that you were on. Do try it and tell me if it's working. So you can try the same code and tell me if it's working. Okay, so in a very simple way, we try to connect what is physical and what is digital. There is a type form that you have to use for your design challenge. Let me quickly create a QR code out of it. Okay, so if I delete this and I change the URL, I put this. And there you go. You have a simple QR code to say this is the design challenge. And you can use this, you can share it with your friends, your colleagues. This challenge is only open for teachers, so it's a very unique opportunity. But you can share this with your teachers and your colleagues. And you can say, this is the link to the design challenge. Okay, super easy. Everybody can do it. All you had to do is drag and drop, and you were able to connect the physical and the digital environment. The other way is to create like a virtual classroom. Okay, so together with your students, if you want your students, you're talking about the Indian independence movement, or you're talking about photosynthesis, or you're talking about any topic that you feel like you're talking about. What if we start a class with a virtual environment like this? You put 2, 3 things on it, you create a mind map, and then you allow students to, use videos, use QR codes, use multiple other things to create that environment, and you can link a lot of things to it. This is a great activity that I usually start my class with, is how are you feeling today? And students come on a mood board and tell me how they are feeling today, which is a great way for me to start, so that I know how many of them are happy, how many of them are tired, and how many of them need that extra push for the class today. So that's how we use it. Again, all this is our templates that are already available on Canva that you can use, and you can use it with your students and tell us how many of it worked or how much of it did. Okay. Going back to our 4 pillars that we were talking about, which is emotion, accessibility, belonging, and pride. Emotion is something that we feel very strongly in the classroom because our environment helps us feel that emotion. For example, what is the most scary place that you've been in? Okay, 13% of patients who received an MRI reported that they had a panic attack because it was so daunting to get into it. So then a lot of design researchers got together and said that if we have to create this space for children who have to get their MRI done, then how do we do it? And then this was made. Okay, so it's like a ship on an ocean, and they are the pirates who are getting in, or the captains who are getting in, and it immediately lifted their mood, and made it feel like a toy or a play space that they could go into. It was no more a daunting medical equipment, but a space that called out to them. So, how can we apply this in the classroom? So, again, I'm going to go back to chat, and I would love for people to come up with ideas of how we can use this emotion and environment tandem to make it more friendly in the classroom. I'm looking at the chat, and I hope people are answering. How can you make your classroom environment more friendly and more accessible? Any particular topic that you've made more fun for your students? Change it into a park. Lovely. Create colorful graphics for teaching. Okay. To get responses from students, welcome them on board. Change it into a fun world. Okay. What else can you do? Storytelling, yes. Take them into a different world so that they feel like they're a part of it. Let students initiate engaging classes with their moods, hands-on activities, smiley faces, virtual tour, theme-based classroom. Great. These are amazing ideas. Bitmoji. Oh, great. So similar, we can keep it as simple and as complex as possible. One is, what is the one thing that most students are scared of, including me? My mother is a maths teacher and I am very scared of maths. So 6 to 17% of the population experience this thing called mathematics anxiety. People are scared of maths. They feel like they cannot cope with maths. Okay. And do you blame them? Look at these worksheets. Don't they feel really complex and scary to you? Maybe the maths teachers don't feel that way, but most people feel that way. I'm feeling scared just looking at them. Okay, because they are complex, there are numbers, there are drawings, and it's scaring me. Okay. Now, how can we make that more fun? So this is a worksheet that I had in the morning, and I said, okay, let me think of it. It's not a bad looking worksheet. It has this purple color. It's simple. It has the questions very neatly put. It doesn't have a lot of numbers. Doesn't have a lot of diagrams. It is simple and it's nice. So it's not very scary looking. But I made it a little bit more fun for my students. Okay, so I added a lot of cats. I made it a lot of added a few more colors. I made it a little bit more welcoming and more fun and more playful for my classroom. And I felt like that made it more approachable for my students, especially the students who are in the primary grades or in the younger grades. These kinds of techniques, of course, all of you already know, you are teachers, that these things really work. Okay. Canva has 100 million graphics. I mean, if you don't like cats, you don't need to use cats. You can use bees. You can use a lot of different things that you feel are comfortable, and you can use them. You can go to this Elements tab on Canva and create as many worksheets, move things around, and make it as comforting as per your storytelling, as per the environment that you want to create. You can make it as customized as possible. So that's where we are coming to graphics. So I'll just quickly kind of show it to you also, so that you don't feel like I spoke about a lot of things but we didn't show it. You can go to Elements tab and you can go to graphics and tell me any five animals that you would want represented on your screen. You can put it on chat and I'm happy to take those. Please learn to teach math in a fun way. Do not stress on memorization and strict precision. Make it a real life question. That's a great suggestion. Zebra, lion, goat. That's very interesting. Let me just pull lion. Okay, so you can see that I can pull a lion, and all I did was drag and drop, and I can pull a lion up here. Okay. The other person said zebra. Okay. So we have we have photos of zebra. So let's pull up a GIF of a zebra. And you can see that the zebra is moving. You can also go goat. Sorry. We have a walking goat or a running goat here. So everything is drag and drop. Everything is that simple. Nothing is complicated, but it completely changes the look and feel of what you want to do. So you have a whole repository that you can use, and it's completely free for teachers, like I said, and you can use that to make your class and make especially difficult subjects a little bit more fun. Colors tend to evoke really strong feelings of curiosity, of calm. If you want something to hold a student's attention, you use a certain kind of color. If you want it to calm the students down, you use a certain different kind of color. So Canva has a whole set of color palettes that you can use very easily. You can simply go to styles and you will find a whole host of colors that you can use, and those colors you can mix and match, and many of those color templates are already given to you, so you can use that for your convenience. So I'm going to styles and you can see that these are the different colors that are already there, and as soon as I put a color, it changes my template completely. So you can keep switching, and whatever makes you feel comfortable, you can use that, and that would of course work for your students as well. You have a lot of gifs and jiggles that you can use to bring attention to something. You want someone to keep looking at that part of the worksheet or that part of the PPT, you can add gifs and jiggles as well, and that would also make it fun. This is a small activity that I have. I will share this with the team, and then you can see how you would want to either move the cat around, move things around, and how you can make it more engaging. And definitely try these simple tricks out in your design challenge so that your design is powerful, exciting, and definitely wins one of these exciting awards that we have for the design challenge this time. Okay, so the next thing that we first spoke about emotion. The second thing that we wanted to speak about is accessibility. So when you create a visual design that needs to support learning, what do you want to do? Do you want to excite students or do you want to overwhelm students? Please post on chat. What do you want to excite students or do you want to overwhelm them? And what is the difference between the two? Excite them. Okay, great. But what is the difference between the two? Okay, cool. So, overwhelming stresses them, Winnie ma'am is saying, okay? Overwhelm is too much to process, too much to take in. Excite them. We want to excite them so that they can learn better, making learning interesting. Great. So, we're on the same page. So, what does this design make you feel? Take a look, take 30 seconds, understand what all is happening, and then how did that slide make you feel? Clumsy, Babita Srivastav is saying clumsy. Overwhelmed, yes. Happy, too much to process, loud, cluttered, clumsy, rumpled. Exactly. I mean, I completely agree with you. Okay. So that's how it makes you feel. So you were able to connect, you looked at a slide and you could immediately access it as overwhelming. Okay. So it's really important that when we create something, especially for the learning environment, we keep two things in mind: the colors and the complexity. It cannot be too overwhelming, it cannot be too overpowering. It needs to hold the learner's attention, but it needs to still be able to be stimulating, attractive, something that inspires them. So the color and complexity both are really important while going into any design. So, how colorful is this environment? It's very colorful, right? It has so many different colors. You cannot have 30 different colors because then your learner's attention would be distracted. Okay, so then it's sometimes better to choose a few colors that you want to focus on and keep your information in that way so that this learner can attempt it and assess it better. So, how cohesive is it? Complexity is something that we keep talking about. So when you use a lot of different elements, and with Canva, when you have a million different elements that there are and all are free to use, then how do you make sure that each element speaks to each other? They are not separate, they're not overpowering, but they're all having a conversation with each other. Okay. So a little bit of an example to this. Look at this thing. What do you feel when you look at all these 9 different elements? Confused with a lot of information, okay? Attractive, very beneficial, confused, excited, variations, incongruent, looks like a puzzle or a riddle, too much confusion. Okay, no one theme. Exactly. So when there are many things and those many things don't speak to each other, and so you use many different fonts, many different colors, nothing matches. So the degree of complexity in the design becomes very high. Okay. So your child or the students is not able to know what is he or she supposed to concentrate on. There's a scissor which is trying to speak something, there's a smiley face, there's something else happening here, but none of them look like they're a part of the same world. They are not talking to each other. Okay. And then look at this. Okay. What does this make you feel? Something related to plants, something related to nature. Sun connects them all with life. There's connection, there's coherence, there's weather, there is correlation. Yes, so it's one theme, and each and every one of those elements are talking to each other in some way or the other. It's environment, it's nature, it's all connected to each other, right? So we want our designs to have low complexity, good colors, but it needs to still feel coherent. It needs to still communicate a message to our learners. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do. So, as I was saying, this is a high complexity environment and this is a low complexity environment. We want to create, like, suppose you are creating a first day of sixth grade poster, okay, or themed kits. Using themed kits would just help you create a coherent messaging for your classroom. Many teachers usually create it for different subjects. So, for example, I've had teachers who've said, shapes, I use this color and this body or this presentation template, and I just use that. So even my students know that when they see pink, orange, and green, it's usually my math class. So it helps them communicate their ideas a little bit better. Or when I use history, I only use brown or I only use beige, which helps my students know before I start talking that this is history class. So things like that, because of course in the same WhatsApp group or in the same Google Classroom, so many different subjects are happening and so many different topics are happening. So using these visual cues as examples for students to switch and turn really helps. Okay. Now, this is again a question to all of you. What would be your dream classroom theme? Like, what would you like? What colors or what topic or what would be the theme that you would use? And please post that on the chat box. Green, each one, light blue color, abiotic, sky blue, green, great, rainbow, yeah, perfect. So we would you all use different themes because we all are very unique in our own ways. So in Canva, you can create your own classroom themes, and once you create it, you can create it for all your worksheets, for all your virtual backgrounds, for everything in a very organized manner. Okay. Finally, the sense of belonging that I was speaking about. Every student in every classroom is unique. Just like you said, you all like different colors. So, just like that, every classroom and every student is unique. Everyone likes different things. So, it's really important that the classroom environment makes them feel like they're a part of it. Okay, they mean something. So, when children can't see themselves in the world around them, they feel invisible and unimportant. When they can see that they are a part of the world and it is reflected in their classroom, they are able to create things. They have a higher self image, they have critical thinking and the socio emotional learning skills that we keep talking about. They're able to achieve all that and more. They feel like they're a part of the classroom, they feel like they can create. And this idea that I created something, this idea that I made that, is very empowering. So, whenever you are trying to create a theme for your classroom or introduce a new topic, try and make it a space where many students can come together and create it. So, try and co create that learning space. What is the classroom color that everybody likes? So, then let's create material around that. What is the kind of things that everybody wants to talk about? Let's start with that. So many students have been able to create games, flashcards, and things for their classroom. The things that they used to previously do on chart paper and pin it up on the board, they're now able to create it virtually and send it up on their WhatsApp. How can you create an inspiring classroom? You can invite students into the classroom and environment creation process and make it their own, which is something that we just spoke about. Students express themselves in their own ways and own designs. So Canva for education is not just for teachers, it's also for students. As teachers, you can invite students onto your classroom and you can give them a topic and they can create multiple different things in their own way. We asked students in November what does going back to school means to them, and the kind of expressive ideas and creative ideas we got, we're still in awe of them because many people made videos, many made infographics, worksheets, spoke about the pandemic, spoke about their changed life, but also spoke about this excitement of going back into school. You can build a classroom together. So you can talk about, okay, what will our classroom look like? What would it feel like? What would it sound like? And let's all try that together. And finally, and the most favorite part about this session for me is the pride aspect, which is that every student feels the sense of pride when they make something. Many times, not everybody is good at drawing, I'm not. But with a click of button, when they are able to pull and get things that they feel are colorful and beautiful and their design is perfect, that makes them feel like they've done something. These are all students who've created stuff on Canva and are feeling really proud of it. Many a times we have moved from a print to a digital to print model where students are creating things on Canva and then getting that printed for their classroom. it helps them build a sense of confidence, build a sense of happiness as they see what they create on their walls. And I don't need to say this to all of you, but it's a great way to recognize students. It's really important that students are recognized for the kind of work that they do. I remember the stars and the smileys that we used to get during schools, and the amount of difference that would make. It would make our day if we had a star or a smiley from our favorite teacher, and that subject would become favorite and that chapter would become favorite just because we got that. So Canva helps all of you teachers and students create personalized stickers and give that to your students, especially since we moved remotely. So yeah, that's how you can do it, and I can quickly create a sticker and show that to you. But that's about it from my end. If there are any questions or comments or any thoughts, we can take those. And yeah, this is a sticker that you can look at. You can look at badges. And you can change the text as per your condition. So these are a whole bunch of things that are digital stickers that you can use. You can give it and you can bring it all together. And most of you spoke about certificates, and certificates have a big role in how they encourage and give their students the positive reinforcement they need. So with that, I'll stop the session, but please post your questions. Most importantly, I would want to talk about the design challenge. You all saw how easy it is to design on Canva. It literally takes 10 to 20 minutes to design something. You can create, yes, it can be linked to presentations. Canva is linked to presentation. I can quickly go ahead and show you how it is done. So if you can go to, suppose you will, when you get a Canva account, this is a typical Canva account. You have videos, presentation, infographic, A4 size things. These are all typical Canva stuff. When you get an education account, which you will after you sign up on the education sign up, you will get education presentation, education video, education infographic, poster, worksheet, class schedule, etc. You can type any topic that you feel you want content on, and you will find this whole host of content that is already created for you. Once you have seen this, I've typed fraction, I can choose any of the template that is there, and I can change it, ask questions, post questions, change things completely based on my class and their curriculum. So a whole host are available. You can add elements as per, you can add lines, you can add shapes, you can add anything that you feel you want to add. All this is available on Canva. You can also add backgrounds if you feel like you want to add backgrounds. You can also add music wherever you need it. You can add a video if you have a video on fractions that you feel is very useful. You can add that video onto it, and that would be an easy way to explain it. So in a worksheet, you can also add a video for your students to look at. You can also link it to YouTube, and all this can be shared. So you can share it as a link. You can share it as a view only link if you don't want your students to edit it. You can share, you can add people onto your link and give them edit access, typically like a slide. Or you can share on WhatsApp, Facebook, anywhere that your students are. Or you can also download it as a presentation or as a PDF or as a PNG and share that as well. If your school is on Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, you can also use those platforms to share it. So everything is accessible here for you to share. If you haven't got the link, you have to go to, you have a basic Canva account. To make it Canva for Education, you have to go to Canva Edu Sign Up. I'll just post the link here. I'm going to post it on the chat, Simran and Prachi. I request you to post it there. So that's the Edu sign up link. You can use that to be able to sign up on Canva.
Thank you, Annapoorni. I'm just posting the link on the. Yeah, I think Prachi, my colleague, has already posted the link.
If you have any
There's a,
feedback for
right.
me or any questions, sorry.
So yeah, I was just going to ask the same thing. So I request the participants to put down their questions on the chat box, and we'll take it now. We have about 10 minutes, and there's a common question: is Canva a free software? I think Annapurni, if you want to answer that.
Okay, so Canva for education is a free software. We have Canva Basic, which is a free software, but there are limitations because certain things are premium. For educators, for teachers, and for students, Canva Premium or Canva Pro, as we call it, which is a paid service, is made completely free for teachers and educators and students for the education environment. Basically, because it's our impact product, we want more and more teachers and more students to be able to design. So the pro features are made available. So for educators and teachers across the world, it's 100% free product. Yes.
Right. So I'll so do if I already have a Canva account, do I need to sign up separately for Canva for education?
No, you don't need to sign up separately for Canva for education. You need to upload your B.Ed or any certificate using the same login, and then we will verify that and upgrade you to Canva for education. So you'll have your basic ID as well as education ID, just like I should.
Uh, Jayanti ma'am wants to know, do the participants of the competition, which is the design challenge, should only work in a school? Are they also like other places if they are like they are educators but not working in a school, can they participate too?
They need to be K-12 educators. We prefer school because that's who we can verify easily. But if you have verification document beyond that, please feel free to share that. So if you are an educator and you believe that you're a teacher in the K-12 space, feel free to apply because there would be a verification process that we could later get.
Right. Uh, Charumati Desai ma'am wants to know, are the worksheets created on Canva interactive? Can we create interactive worksheets?
So you can create interactive worksheets. You can make it from a design perspective and from a content perspective. So from a design perspective, you can add GIFs, you can add music, you can add videos, you can make it interactive. You can also gamify them. When you add music and you add animation, you can gamify them over time as content pieces. So we have had a lot of gamified worksheets that we've created in the past, which is very useful. So you can make it like a game and you can make it like a flashcard that your students use and play through it. So that's in on the content side also you can make it very interactive.
There's a question, do we need to check the copyright before sharing or using content in or images in Canva?
No, we have made it, we've opened the elements and opened all our repository to all the educators. So you can feel free to use it without worrying about any licensing or any copyright issues.
Is there an option to correct worksheets on Canva? Like to check whether the answers are correct or not?
Yes, so like I said, you have a lot of tick and wrong buttons or elements that you can use to tick and see which are correct. You can also add scores or digital stickers on your worksheets. So you can assess things on Canva. You can also make it a comment friendly file and add your comment on Canva itself so that your students get feedback on a personalized level.
There's a question, can preschool teachers participate in the design challenge?
They can participate in the design challenge, but as long as they have some verification of their role as an educator.
There's a question if we can get some discount on Canva Pro membership.
Sorry, I don't deal with. I'm only for Canva for education. So I think I have a very Santa Clausy job where I get to do only Canva for Education, which is already free. So I wouldn't have a say on Canva Pro.
Where do we need to upload our certificates to be able to get the Canva for Education account? Is
So I have put this link, canva.com ENIN education. If Prachi, you can pull that up and put it there. That's where you sign up for the Canva for Education account, and there it'll ask you for verification documents.
Tejal ma'am says, I have submitted a design which is created by me. Is that okay? I am sure that is okay with
That's
all of
perfect.
us.
That's perfect. I also want to mention, Simran, that teachers who, of course, have their own account, but also want to get it for their entire school and for all their students with very basic information, we will be able to do that. So I've put a Google form link here. If you can post that on chat, they can use that to upgrade their entire school on Canva for Education.
Okay, there are a lot of questions about will we get a participation certificate for the design challenge?
That's a very interesting question. We are right now recognizing top 20 design submissions, but we are giving participation for the two webinars that we've conducted, which CENTA is going to be doing.
There's a question. I am a librarian and have created a lot of designs for school magazine. Can I submit those for the design challenge?
Yes, the theme of the design challenge is creativity in classroom. So as long as it falls under that theme, you can submit. And when I say educators, we also in the K-12 space include librarians and other administration and other staff that are there in the K-12 space. So as long as you're in that space, we should be able to.
There's a question. Is the competition open to teacher trainers from NGOs?
So as long as you have a B.Ed certificate or some kind of verification should show that you are a teacher by qualification or by profession, we can have a verification process.
Okay. So I think that, uh, yeah, I
If
think
you can
that's
post the chat form link again, that would be awesome.
it's just there. Actually, Prachi's just posted it on the chat. I'm sure it is coming up.
Okay.
I
If there
just
are any
posted.
other feedback or things that you would want us to cover in the future, please do share that as well so that we can also prepare accordingly. But that's thank you so much for being a great audience and for sharing so many of your questions and comments and answers as I.
Thank you so much, Annapoorni. It was indeed you know, creative way in which we can make our classrooms even more interesting with the designs that Canva offers. Thank you so much, participants, for engaging with us, and please do sign up and participate in the design challenge. We still have about 4 days to go before the challenge ends, and there are very exciting prizes, and it wouldn't take too much of your time as well because Canva makes it so much more easier. Please do submit your. Okay, so how does long receive response? Sorry, I'm not sure what they are asking. Okay, are there any specific? Last question: are there any specifications in the design challenge, or is it like mostly open, fluid, whatever topic one wants to explore?
So the theme is fixed creativity in the classroom. Now you can show that in the form of infographic, in the form of a video, in the form of a worksheet, in the form of any medium. So medium, there's no limitation. The theme, there is an overarching theme, but you can interpret it in any way. You have to give us 2 lines about how you interpreted it in your type form. So ensure that however you're interpreting, you can make a case for it, but that's all. But there's no restriction on format, size, color, theme. The theme is fixed, which is creativity in classroom.
Okay. So, one last question, and with that, we will close the session. Is the challenge only limited to India? Because we have an audience who,
Yes.
like a lot of teachers, who are watching our webinars from outside India. So is it limited to India
It
only?
is limited to India. Yes,
Okay.
for that I cannot say we can manage it. It is this version of the challenge is limited to India. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Annapoorni, for taking the time and doing this session for us. And thank you, audience, for joining in. We have posted both the feedback form link as well as the type form on the chat box. And with that, we will close the session today. Yes. Thank you so much, Annapoorni. Thank you, audience. And I'm closing the session now.